Okay, we have a last World Cafe, and that's another Nick Talbot from Tata Elxsi. Welcome on stage.
Everyone else got applause. I get nothing.
A round of applause.
No, I'm kidding. I think we've all had a wonderful but rather intense couple of days. So first of all, thanks to all of the people that dropped by our table. And actually thanks to all of you for still being here at 4:15 in the afternoon. I'll be brief. My rather blunt question to the teams that we had through the session was, have we hit peak display? In other words, can we see a situation where every vehicle has got A-pillar to A-pillar displays? Are there going to be more of them or less of them in the future? And what I found interesting is it was split pretty much 50-50 down the middle. So some people say, yes, of course, that's where it's going. And some of the other colleagues said, you know what, we're going in completely the wrong direction. So then we explored that a little bit, and clearly the issue is not actually the scale of the display. It's the fact that too much information is being shoved in front of the user, whether it's the driver or the passenger at one time. So we then discussed what some of the options might be to, let's say, mediate that amount of information. We had a very interesting discussion on whether AI, and I personally think it will come along, is going to be in the vehicle to mediate some of the interactions and some of the use cases. So AI is definitely going to be part of a future cockpit, let's say, experience. But there was a very big but about not permitting the driver to feel that essentially their task is being taken over fully. So very powerful tool, but needs to be used in the right way. Similarly, we talked about the future of head-up display, whether that's augmented reality head-up display or any other kind of information. And universally, everyone said, yeah, that's going to happen, but we need to be very careful how much information we put there. And even more importantly, it can't end up being irritating. So there are some examples in production cars already where the groups felt that actually it just wasn't being done in the right way. Voice, we heard from Duncan earlier on. We also discussed how big a part voice might play in a future HMI. And similarly to AI, yes, definitely, but only for certain use cases. So jokingly, one of the guys said, I'm not going to tell my car through a voice interface to turn my wipers on every time I need my wipers on. So again, very powerful opportunity as language models get better to integrate voice and find another way of, especially drivers that are stressed out, not having to look at a button or a display. Final couple of points. Universally, multimodal is pretty much always going to be there. So the idea of muscle memory to do basic things, we believe even in high-tech, futuristic HMI, there will be some hard keys, and I think it's already mentioned maybe that human contact with something physical is part of what we need to retain. In conclusion, in every case, what we agreed is that it's not about one technology or the other. We have to refocus on the user, refocus on the vehicle type, and really focus on the function in hand or the task at hand, and then use the right combination of technologies to meet that demand. So the conclusion as a designer all comes back to the user, and if we make sure they're front and center of everything we do, then we'll see improvements. Thank you very much.
It's okay. It's turned off.